All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Vigil Agency team call for this is our first one for March. So I'm excited for that. March is my favorite month for a lot of reasons, right? It was the month I was born in. It was the month both of my sons were born in, and I tend to have the best production months typically in March for myself personally. So even when my grandfather passed away and he was in hospice in 2018, this was still one of the best months we had on record. So I love March. Before we get started with our special guest Darshan today, I wanted to hear from we heard from Richard earlier on the accountability call, but I want to hear from Richard and I want to hear from Brenda on just a couple of things that they're excited about coming out of Ignite. Richard, if you want to go first.
Okay. This can be interesting because I'm so used to ladies first, but I guess I'll take the reign.
You were looking
Um,
at me. You were looking at me, and Brenda was engaged in something else. I let
fair enough. All right, I'll take that as a compliment. I'm very engaged. So, that and being engaged at Ignite was what really helped me be able to take notes. I have notes for days. I probably took way too much notes. I shared it with the accountability crew. But there was a mixture of everything. It went further than just like strategy of like objection handling. Like everyone thinks, okay, what did you learn about objection handling? It wasn't that. It was more about principles. If you use those principles, how can you feed off of those principles to establish it to what you do on a daily basis? Biggest thing to me was productive time blocking was one thing I learned that I definitely need to work on, as well as um, income producing assets. IPAs are huge, which I think I can definitely work on because a lot of times I'll like in between calls I'll focus on something else and then I'm like, man, where'd my 15 minutes go? So and it's like the goal with that I'm only gonna get to like 15 leads a day, which is terrible. So that's something I need to work on. So principles were great,
awesome.
absolutely great. So
And guys, he doesn't mean IPAs like the beer, right? Income producing
oh,
activity. So,
yeah,
if you have too many IPAs, you don't do too much during your IPAs. So, um,
India Pale Ale, baby.
all right, Miss Brenda.
Yeah, Ignite was definitely fun. This is my second time going to this one specifically, and it's like a non-negotiable for me. So fun getting to sit with Richard and, being able to laugh at everything and take down notes and compare everything. And so it's just great meeting everybody and seeing everybody. And to me, that's, worth its weight in gold is you can only, make so much a connection off of somebody or with somebody off of Zoom, but being able to, be with them in person, pick their brains, make connections with people that you normally probably don't. Had a lot of good conversations with a lot of top producers, being able to pick their brains, get ideas, get help. They're now offering to help me do things to kind of, escalate me and what I need to be done. So that to me is like gold in itself is just being there with everybody in person.
Awesome. Yeah, no, the power of live events, right?
Yep, 100%.
And there's just something about sitting amongst your peers and amongst the people that are doing the business with you, right? Like you can hear stories all day long on Zoom and whatnot, but when you actually are immersed with them and you get to shake hands with them and hug on them and make lifelong friendships with them, there's nothing else like that. So I appreciate both of you guys sharing, and I'm glad that both of you all got the opportunity to get out there. So, all right, if everyone has your book, I'm going to turn it over to Darshan and I'm gonna let him run with it. Um, guys, just whatever you do, have an open mind, open heart, right? And remember, this is about each one of you individually. It's not about the V Hill agency. This isn't about, what's happening here. This is truly about you to help you get better in whatever it is that you need help getting better at. So take it away, Darshan.
Well, thank you, Mike. I am so honored to be here. I am. I've been looking forward to this all the time. Honored to talk with each and every one of you. Do all of you have a copy of the book, or do some of you not have it yet? But thanks, Richard. Really, when did you get yours? All right, Brenda, do you have?
No, I don't have one. I still need to get one.
Okay, I can send it to you if you want. By the way, everybody can unmute themselves unless you have a ton of noise going on in the background, because this isn't about me talking for the rest of this time. This is about me interacting with you guys, asking you the questions so that you guys can get the most out of this that you possibly can. If you're just going to listen to me talk, you'll get more information. And insight without action is like a fart in the wind. Comes on really strong and then it disappears. You like that, Julia? it it's useless. In other words, you have got to internalize what we're talking about, and that's why I ask it to be interactive. In all my live presentations, you just be thankful you don't have to come up on stage and be in front of everybody. So there you go. Dude, so for the people who have the book, were you able to go through any of it yet? The introduction or the first chapter, anything, so I know what to focus on?
I went through intro and pretty much to number 6 of chapter 1.
Gotcha. So the intro, did you answer the questions, Richard?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
I had them.
good. I want to hear the answer to some of these questions. Huh. See, Richard, I can tell because you were, I believe, one of the first people to buy the book. I think you were number one, and
Oh,
and all the notes you took, and all of the like, you're volunteering first. It tells me where your mindset is, and it tells me you're a person of action, and that
thank you.
means you're going to have the results. See, folks, I do a talk, but I'll just give you a little insight. The beliefs that you have plus the actions you take equal the results in your life. So if you don't have the results you want, take a look at the actions you're taking or not taking. And what dictates those actions are your beliefs. And so, Richard, obviously, you have a strong belief in yourself and about what's possible. That's leading you to take these actions you're taking, and then that's leading you to have the results you're starting to get. And this, sir, is only the beginning. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. So, the first question in the introduction, what did you write?
As far as the yes
Are
or
you
no
ready to
question,
have an absolutely amazing life? What's the answer?
yes, sir, absolutely.
All right, great. So for the rest of you who didn't or may not have done that or are not going with me now, if you didn't write yeah or circle yes or write in yes, what does that tell you? Anybody want to answer that? Are you ready
I
to
wrote
have an
yes.
after
Yeah.
what?
I myself wrote yes, but I think
Good.
anything other than yes has some, I guess there's like some blockage within you to really let yourself do it.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Because
I think
if you
we're
didn't write, but here's the thing. Here's where the ego comes in and trips everybody up. We write yes or circle yes and then proceed to do the opposite. Yeah, I'm ready. Until the work gets too hard, until you're uncomfortable, until you're out of your comfort zone. And then it's like, well, I would change my life, but I would start exercising, but I would make those extra 5 phone calls a day, but does that make sense? Have you all heard about the analogy about 211 degrees? You see,
Sounds
200,
familiar, but no.
212 degrees boils water, right?
Oh,
And with boiling water, you can power a train, power giant engines, whatever you want. 211 degrees doesn't do that. That little 1 degree of difference that makes all the difference. Making that one extra phone call a day could mean 20 extra phone calls a month, which could mean another few pieces of business, or it may mean 30 phone calls a month. It's that little thing. It's him circling yes and going through it. It's the same thing with each and every one of you. whatever you want out of this work is what you're going to get in your business, because the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I love that saying, and it's so, so true. All right, Richard. Number 2, describe what an amazing life is for you. Be specific. Where would you live? What would you do for a career? How much money would you make? Whatever. You get the idea. What did you write?
Okay, let me switch to it here just so I can be exact on what I said
Michael,
here.
by the way, Michael, Mr. VL, did you send them the workbook? The video, you got it when I sent it to you the other week, right?
No, sir, I didn't get that.
Oh, no wonder why. Let's fix that. So at some point here, after we're done with this, I put all these questions in digital format. And look again in your junk or what. I did send it to you after our conversation that day a few weeks ago. If you don't find it, Michael, I'll resend it. Go ahead, Richard.
Oh, okay. So, I put an amazing life for me I would be owning several vacation homes throughout the US because I had the goal of traveling and bringing my family to be able to travel. Is a big goal. We haven't been able to travel much due to financial issues growing up. Um, so I would like to also buy a piece of land to build several houses so that we could live separate but close to each other. If that makes any sense. Um, I would
Yeah, I
like
do it
to,
with my family all the time.
yeah, I love being with my family, just not in the same household. I would also like to be able to start a holding company and buy several businesses that work around each other. Um, and I would like within my first year here, I would like to make 100K for this year.
I love it. You're going to learn later on in the book that the language you use either keeps you where you are, pulls you backwards, or moves you forward. So this is not a negative. I'm not picking on you. It's just because you're open enough and willing enough that I can say this. How powerful on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most powerful, is I would like to make 100,000.
Probably like a 3.
Probably like a 3. How powerful was probably like a 3? Not very powerful, is it? I would like to. I'd like to do a lot of things. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it. I'd love to. I want to. I need to. I have to. I should. I must. None of that matters. But if you, Richard, if you, Mr. Valdez, if you, William, Brenda, Brooks, Michael Veal, even Jeffrey, Chuck, if you all say, I am, like, as it's happening now, as it's 100% fact, making 100,000 or whatever the money you make is, and then you own it like it's real, period, end of story. Like, is it okay if I say God without getting into a big religious thing? Is God okay? Do you think God talks, well, I'd like to make the world? No, God just did it. God created you in his image, her image, its image, their image, whatever you want to say. The point of the matter is, when you take ownership of your goals, and a goal, by the way, my acronym for goals, since you like to write things down, is game plan outlined, and I'll repeat it, allowing long-term success. Game plan outlined, allowing long-term success. When you own your goals, when you own your beliefs, they won't own you. What I mean by that is the negative crap that keeps us and our language weak and light. I'd like to own a few properties. The point is, Richard, owning those properties, when you own that, you will have those. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Good. Anybody take anything from that, Richard? You don't have to say anything. I put you on the spot. Anybody else? Anybody at all? What'd you get out of that?
It's like speaking it into existence instead
Yeah,
of, wanting it, you're speaking it into existing and speaking it as you already have it, whatever that it may be.
exactly. It's not like speaking it into existence. It is speaking it into existence. That's the point. When you speak it into existence, it's something flips up here and in your heart, both. And it's amazing what begins to happen. You'll see. So, sir, when at the end of this year, Richard, this is back to you. Who will you be when there's $100,000 sitting in the bank?
Who will I be?
Yeah,
Um,
who will you have been and who will you become? Who will you be? Whatever answer you want to answer.
um, I see it as being able to magnify of what I truly believe in to impact on others. Um,
So you want to help others,
yes, sir.
but who will you be? I didn't say what will you do.
Yeah, I want to be able
Do you
to.
see the difference, folks?
Yeah.
This is who you be dictates what you do, which dictates what you have. So if you're being wimpy, you'll do wimpy things and have a wimpy life. You're better than that, each and every
Yeah.
one of you. So let's try that again. Who will you be, Richard, with 100
Um,
grand in the bank?
I would be a lot more confident to be able to establish the things that I want to be able to pursue, but definitely confidence will be what helps me get there.
So you're confident right now that you're lacking confidence.
Yes. I have confidence outwardly, but in inwards,
In.
I'm very self-conscious.
And that's where it's missed. That's what this book is about, to help you change that. You see, Brenda, William, everybody, Chuck, Brooks, nobody, Jeffrey, Michael, nobody is missing confidence if you can relate to what he said in your own personal life. You're 100% confident that you're lacking confidence. You've got plenty of confidence, sir. Just it focused in the wrong direction. So what this whole book is about is to help you in chapter 1. That's what it's about, to help you guys uncover those negative beliefs, blocks, and barriers. Let's go, Richard. I love that. Perfect. To help you uncover those beliefs, those blocks, those barriers that stop you from having the life you want, from having the properties you want, from traveling you want the way you want, from having the $100,000 in the bank. Does that make sense?
Hmm.
Good. So it's time to start, because what you're believing, by the way, the lack of confidence in you and anybody else who experienced that doubt, fear, uncertainty, it's all a bunch of BS. Y'all know what BS stands for? What does BS stand for, Brenda?
Is this being recorded?
Yes, you can say it, Brenda. We're all adults.
Bullshit.
Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Well, you're all wrong. It doesn't stand for bullshit. It stands for belief systems.
Ah.
But if your belief systems are based in bullshit, what do you think your life is going to be? You see, your life is not going to be any better than what you believe it to be. You have to believe in yourself. And what this book is about is to help you to do that, to help you believe and value and respect and like and love and honor and cherish yourself. And when you do that, watch what happens. Brenda, do you have any kids? Okay, it's fine. Hold on. Richard, do you have any kids?
No.
No. Anybody here have any kids? Jeffrey, you haven't been
Yes.
talking. You have kids. Great. Chuck, do you have kids?
Oh yeah. Do I trust him?
Great. What?
What did you say? Do I trust him?
Do you trust them?
Not as
And
far as I can throw them.
that's very good. William, do you have kids?
Besides my dog, no.
No. Hey, that's fine. Michael Valdez, do you have kids?
Yes, I do.
Great. Can you imagine, like when your kid, were you there when your kid was born, Michael, or anybody?
Absolutely.
I watched his head pop out.
Yeah. You've never felt love like that you in your lifetime, have you?
No.
When you first saw
Can't.
that kid, when you held that kid in your arms, you've never felt love like that, have you?
Nope.
Chuck, Jeffrey, is that right?
That's
Michael,
Yes.
Vigil, y'all got that, right?
absolutely.
All right, what's the point that I'm making? When you love yourself like you love your kid, the whole world is yours. Because you didn't look at your kid and go, "You're not good enough, son." Was it a boy or a girl, Richard?
I don't have any kids.
Sorry, not you, Michael. Boy or girl?
One of each,
One
boy
of
and girl.
each. You didn't look at your kids and go, "You're not good enough." Did you?
No way.
No. Why would you ever look at yourself in the mirror and say, "I'm not good enough. I'm not confident enough"? All of those beliefs are BS. They're just belief systems that you learned. And anything that can be learned can be unlearned. So that leads me into this wonderful example that I'm going to give you. Right here is two pieces. I'm trying to pull them apart. I got to take there's two, I got to take my Corvette back. Virtual background, put none. Okay, here we go. There's two pieces of paper. Y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing on the back. There was a hair on the back. Hold on. There we go. Two identical pieces of paper. Now, everybody agree?
Mhm.
Nothing different about them. They are the same.
Yep.
So here's what happens. Here we are at 3 months old and we pee our pants or poop our pants. I want you to watch what starts happening. Maybe mom or dad doesn't come to clean us up. And then it happens again and again. Maybe our nose is running. Maybe we're coughing. Maybe we're crying. Maybe mom gets mad at us. And week after week, month after month, the same kind of thing happens. Maybe we're 1 year old now and more of that's been going on. And then we're a year and a half. And then we're learning to talk. And what's a kid's favorite word at 2 years old? No. Yeah, what? What's this? Why? No, no, no. You can't have this. Right? And so what happens? Then we start getting told, no, no, you can't have that now. And then maybe a sibling is born, and all of a sudden we're not the most important. Then 3, 4, 5 years old, more and more stuff starts happening. Then what do we do at 5, 6 years old? We go to preschool, kindergarten, and then all of a sudden there's all these other kids, and you're not the center of attention anymore, and you start getting in trouble. You start developing this scared personality because other kids are getting more attention. As a 5 year old, and we'll see this in chapter 1, 6 year old, you don't have the reasoning ability or the capacity to think otherwise. So you start making up stuff about yourself. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. All these other kids are smarter than me. By the way, look what's happening to this piece of paper. And it just gets more and more and more and more. You have repeated instances of your siblings, your classmates, your teachers, grade after grade, year after year, until you're 13, 14, 15, those teenage years, 16, 17, 18 years old. It still continues. 19, 20. We'll just stop at 21. And this is what you've made your life out to be instead of what it actually is, which is this. You see, you spend your life making that identity, Richard, that tells you you're not confident enough. What do? They start undoing it. and they start working on themselves and work on all the corners, all those crevices and creases, and work and work and work. And they go, but I'm getting better. And they're working year after year, decade after decade after decade. And some people, although it's harder to see, end up looking like this. They got little tears, crevices, cracks, whatever, but they're better than that ball, right? No, they're not. It's just another level of what that ball was. It's just another belief system. So the shortcut is stop being this and start being who you really are right now. Start being that baby that you looked into that his or her eyes or both and knew that baby was priceless, because that's who you are. Folks, if you had a thoroughbred racehorse and it was winning you tons of money every week, would you give that horse the best diet in the world? Is that a yes? Would you
Yep.
give that horse the best exercise in the world?
Yes.
The best rest, training, development? Would you give that horse the best everything you could give it?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because it's winning.
Because
Because it's winning. So then the question becomes, do you give yourself the best diet in the world? I'm waiting for the no.
Well, I think for me, I've always thought like when I get to my successful point, I'll work with a personal trainer, I'll eat well, I'll do this. It's always a future thing. And the reality is doing it now is what makes you get to that point.
Whether you want, like last night, I was so incredibly tired and I hadn't reached my heart rate goal for the day. And the last thing in the world I wanted to do was get on the damn treadmill. And you know what I did? I sat on the couch and I ate bonbons.
Wow.
And I cried myself to sleep in a blanket. Of course, I got on the treadmill and I ran until my heart rate was up. That's the point. That 1% makes all the difference. You get on the treadmill, you call that personal trainer, because you're right. Every little thing that you do, how you do anything is how you do everything, is going to lead you to the next step. Because when you make that call, what other calls have you been putting off? How are you going to get rich and successful if you're not making the calls you need to make? If you're not talking to the people you need to talk to? If you're not doing those IPAs and all the other things that make you successful in business? You're here. Well, by the way, this has nothing to do with insurance. This has everything to do with your life. How you do anything. I don't know. That saying is stuck in my head today. So clearly you guys need to hear it. Is how you do everything. And that's the point. You get that coach and you start working out, then all of a sudden, little other things are going to change. I'll give you a personal example. I'll take the pressure off of you. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do any drugs, never have. I've been drunk twice in my entire life. I'll be 56 in about 7 weeks. My struggle has always, did I say always yet? Always been food. I love to eat. I can't even put into words how good food is and I just said, I would do all this exercise. Like yesterday, I did 9 miles of cardio. And here's the point. Every day I would do a lot of cardio. That wasn't 9 miles straight. There was 9 miles throughout the day. I had to do the last mile on the treadmill just to get my heart rate up. The point that I'm making is whether it's the weights and let's see if we can you all see my exercise stuff?
Yep.
All right. So I was on the treadmill last night. I threw my sweatshirt on I have an elliptical machine. I have the weights. I have the machine. The point that I'm making is in spite of all the exercise, I kept eating too much and I wasn't losing anything. I wasn't gaining any fitness. And I said, well, I got to control my eating. And this is a gift to give for you guys. It's not about my eating, it's whatever you get out of it for you. The very thing that I didn't want to do is the very thing I had to do. The very thing I didn't want to do was stop eating. So now I'm on a 20 to 21 hour a day fast every day, not once a week, every single day. I stop eating at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever it is that day. And then I don't eat the next day till 5 or something like that, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever, you get the idea. Every single day. That stops me from every 10, 15 minutes putting something in my mouth. Why? Because here's the ultimate question I asked you about the thoroughbred racehorse. Aren't you guys worth more than a horse? Every time you don't take the action you say you want to take, you say to Richard to get your $100,000, to get your properties, to get you to travel. And again, I didn't work with anybody else yet, but whatever it is you wrote down, or if you didn't write it down, if you guys didn't answer any of the questions, the ones that had the book in chapter 1, why? Who did that hurt? Nobody but you. If you guys don't do the work, you'll get nothing. This will become a self-help book, not a self-help book. This is for you. You're worth more than a horse. And I'm going to prove that to you right now. So, Brenda, I'll work with you real quick. I'm going to also work with you, William, and Brooks. I'll work with you. You ready? So, Brenda, I want you to look at the top of your pinky. You see how I'm holding my pinky up? And I want you to squeeze in, and William and Brooks, the same thing. And Brooks, unmute yourself because we're going to be talking. All right. All right. So I want you to squeeze all three of you. I want to make sure I can see it on screen. William, squeeze the top of your pinky. Not this, not even that much. Less, William, less. Just to the very tippy top. You got that? There you go. Just squeeze it with those two fingers right now. So I've done this for over 30,000 people. I know where it's going. I'm going to say a whole bunch of crazy sounding funny things. Just act as if I could do everything I'm about to tell you, even though I can't. All right. Even though in reality it won't happen, just act as if. Right now, I'm going to give you $1 million cash. Now, several things. You won't feel a thing. It will heal instantly. It won't grow back. It'll just look like you never had the top of your pinky. No pain, no infection, no arthritis, no problems with this pinky from now until the day you die. Soon as I cut the pinky off, the top, just the tippy top, it will heal instantly. It won't grow back. It'll just look like you never had the top of your pinky before. You guys got that? All right. Now, don't think about what you could spend the money on. Like I could send my kids to college. I could buy us a new house. None of that. It's just a value for value exchange. Like Richard, if I said to you, I'll give you $1 million for your headphones, you wouldn't think about it. Well, I could buy a new house, right? I could go travel, right? You just give me your headphones because it's the value for value. Same thing. Who's a yes? Who would give me the tip of their pinky for $1 million? William, are you a yes?
No, I'm a no.
Was that a no?
I'm a no, yeah.
No. Brooks, are you a no?
I would
Or
say
yes?
yes.
You're a yes. Brenda, looked like you shook your head no.
No.
All right. I'm glad. So we'll hold on for you guys for a minute. Brooks, you're a yes. Tell you what
Yes.
we'll do. Tell you what we'll do. You just hold that thought for us. In fact, I'll work with Brenda. I'll tell you what, I'll give you guys $10 million, Brenda and William, for the same tip. No pain, no arthritis, no infection. $10 million right now. No taxes even. It's all yours. Instantly, it's yours. And again, instantly it heals. Just no tip of your pinky. I'll give you 10 million. Is it for sale?
It's still a no. No,
I'll give you $50 million.
it's still a no.
$100 million.
Yeah, still a no.
Brenda, $100 million.
It's tempting, but I'll stick with William and say no.
Brenda, is there any amount of money, William, any amount of money I could offer you for the tip of your pinky? No. Any amount, Brenda?
Mm-mm.
I could offer you $1 trillion and you'd say no. Oh, look at that. Oh, you
Principle.
do it for $1
To me,
trillion?
Principal.
All right, I got you. Well, good. I'm glad we said that. Would you do it for a trillion, Brenda?
Probably not.
Oh, no, it's either yes or no. So it's a no. So Brooks, very good. You hold that. Great. I love this. It's never happened in all the years I've done this. I want to acknowledge something. You'll see, Brooks, you sold it for $1 million. I bet you're going to hold out for a little more now. We're gonna we're gonna go to the whole rest of your pinky, not just the tip anymore. The entire pinky's gone. You can't get a pinky transplant. I'll tell you what. I'll give you the same trillion. You'd have $1,000,000,001,000,000. Is it gone?
I would do a million or a trillion. Yeah.
Well, $1 trillion for the whole pinky.
Yeah, I would do it.
Okay, great. Now we're gonna go to the next finger. Hold it up so I can see it in the. Yeah, like no, but put your hand on it like I'm doing.
Oh,
The next finger is gone. You'd have 2 fingers gone. Is that second finger for sale?
no.
So you're gonna stop at $1 trillion, huh?
Yeah, I'd stop at a trillion.
All right, and William, you wouldn't sell it for $1 trillion. You wouldn't sell it for $1 trillion either, Brenda, huh? All right, so for the rest of you guys, Michael and Julia and Gloria and Richard and Jeffrey, look, and everybody, and you, Brooks, and everybody that's done it. Here's the thing. If you guys wouldn't even sell the tip of your pinky for $1 trillion, and you'd sell a couple of fingers for $1 trillion, how much is the rest of you worth?
Unlimited.
What's another name for unlimited?
Infinite.
What's another name for infinite? What? I didn't
Priceless.
hear. Priceless. Oh, I love it. You just said you're priceless. You said it. Not worth less. And every time you don't make a call, every time you don't do what you say you're going to do, every time you don't fill something out, every time you put something off, every time you eat too much, drink too much, whatever it is that you know is not serving you, you're telling yourself you're worth less. You see, if you had a horse and it was winning you all that money, you'd give it the best diet, exercise, and you don't give the horse a chance. You don't give the horse a choice, but you give yourself a choice. And that's the problem. You got to put blinders on. You ever see a horse race when they put those goggles on the horses? It's blinders, so the horse can't look around. Stop looking at all the bright, shiny stuff outside of you and start looking at all the wonder and the love and the passion and the joy that's inside of you. That's where it all begins. And the fact that, Brenda, you wouldn't sell anything at all for $1 trillion tells me you got a really solid foundation. William, same thing. A really, really, really solid foundation. You all are priceless. And Brooks, it doesn't matter you sold 2 fingers. I had 2 arms from a guy for 20 million. two entire arms. Not just the fingers. He's like, well, I got 20 million. I got enough. I said, it's not about that. It's about the value. You're only valuing your arms at $20 million. Wait till they're gone. And then you need help the rest of your life. Your 20 million would disappear pretty quick. That's the whole point for all of this. You all are priceless. You all are an immeasurable treasure. Your value is so immense. There is no measure. And what we're going to do each time that we get together is chip away at all the BS that's stopping you from living that way. You see, Michelangelo always saw the David inside the marble. It was always there. He just had to chip away all of what wasn't David. And it's the same thing with you. Michael Vigil owns the agency. Great. There's no reason you shouldn't. If insurance is something you really want to do, own the agency, be your own agency too. You could be Michael's #1 team, each and every one of you. Michael could be the greatest team in the world. I mean, in the symmetry world, but that isn't because of Michael. It's because of you. And I know there's 2 Michaels here. You'll know I'm referring to Michael Vigil in this case. It's because of you. It's because you believe in yourself, in your heart, in your goodness, and you believe in the product and the service, and you believe it's going to help people. There was a story I heard. You all heard of W. Clement Stone? Michael, you've never shared the W. Clement, Michael Vigil, that is, never shared the W. Clement Stone stuff. Whatever. He was great and big and very famous back in the 50s and 60s and in insurance, and he had a way of inspiring the heck out of people. And a guy reached out to him and said, "Hey, would you give me the names of some people I could call on?" He opened the phone book and went through the A's, the B's, and the C's and just did that and called. And the guy, he gave the names to the guy, and the guy called him. W. Clement Stone said, "I should call you." And he got all this business. And it was BS. He didn't know any of them. The people just believed in W. Clement Stone. Like, in other words, if Sylvester Stallone or somebody modern today that you like, Taylor Swift, whatever, said to call you, you'd have a whole different, like, you'd pick up the phone all day. I'm calling because Taylor Swift said call you. If you could do that because somebody famous said do it, then you can do it. If on your own, it doesn't have to take anybody else. It doesn't have to take Michael. It doesn't have to take me. It doesn't have to take the insight. It doesn't have to take anything outside of you. It's all internal. Everything comes from within. Because, folks, if you don't go within, you will go without. Do y'all know what that means? What does that mean, Brooks? Forgive me while I blow my nose.
You're fine.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of struggling to come up with an answer right now. I'm not sure if somebody
All
help me,
right.
but my guess is if you don't look inside what you really want and have, you won't be able to
Yeah.
portray what
If
you
you don't
have
look
outward.
inside, what will happen?
You'll never find what you truly are or should be. I'm not.
Well, that's true. But when I say if you don't go within, you will go without. Brenda, what will that mean?
Yeah, missed opportunities, missed growth, missed anything if you're not willing to look inside and find what it is that you really want and you really want to go for.
All of that's true. I'm looking for something else. Chuck, how about you? If you don't go within, you'll go without. What does that mean?
You're gonna be broke.
Well, that might be a result. I'll just say it in the interest of time. Unless Jeffrey, you want to say it?
I'm struggling with this one. I'm not sure what concept you're looking for.
All right, great. William, you got a shot. Michael, Michael Valdez, you're still muted. Go ahead, William. You got a point?
If you don't look for the problem, you won't find the solution.
Well, that's true. I'll say it another way. Michael Valdez, you want to say something? You don't go within, you'll go without. What does that mean to you?
If you don't dig deep, you don't get the results.
Well, that's true. All right, I'll say it in a whole different way. If you don't go within yourself looking, so all you said was part of it, you'll go without it. In other words, you won't have the results you want. But you'll also go without yourself. In other words, you'll go outside yourself looking for what's really inside yourself. You look for the next book, the next seminar, the next guru, the next whatever. But all the answers are within. All of them. I'm not talking about how should I talk to clients best or what if they say this and overcoming it. I'm 20 years old. I don't need insurance. That's fine. Talk to Michael Vigil about that. Talk to your other team members, what they've discovered about how to overcome all of that. I don't even like the term overcome. You're just talking to people, helping them. We all need insurance. It's obvious. That's why you're in it. A lot of people are ignorant of it. I was ignorant of it. Michael Vigil will tell you that. I was quite ignorant of it for a long time, not anymore. So what's the point that I'm making? All the answers about why, where'd you go, Richard? I'm sorry, everything keeps moving around on the screen. All the answers of why you feel incompetent. If you're looking outside of you and for the next greatest book that says how to build your competence, right? And your confidence, right? Great, you can do that. What is it? Darshan was also like, yeah, I was at one time. And I realized I need to stay on this path. I get it. And I didn't do it for very long. Thank you for saying that, Michael. And I was on Michael's team, and I realized, wait a minute, because this is what I was ending up doing. I'm like, well, just cut out the middleman and just do this. And so Here's the thing. Stop going without whatever. Yes, we're on here. Of course you get information. Of course you go without to, with the book. I get that. But people use out external people, resources, whatever, as a crutch until, like you said, Brooks, well, when I get whatever, I'll go do this. Well, when I read the next 20 books, I'll have enough information. I used to read, y'all like Tony Robbins at all?
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Tony Robbins. So instead of making sales calls, guess what I'd do? I'd read Tony Robbins books and fool myself into thinking I was doing something because I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to deal with all the stuff that comes with the sales calls, with getting the rejection. And we'll talk about rejection. That's a whole other conversation. Rejection is, whew, it's a beauty when you're on the other side of it. It sucks when you're on the initial side of it. Any questions or comments about anything I've said so far?
I'm
You
excited.
raising your hand, Jeffrey? No. Okay,
Yeah,
what?
I just think that your own worst critic is
Yeah.
your mirror.
Yes.
Is your mirror.
That is a perfect statement. Have y'all ever read Think and Grow Rich?
Yes.
All right, I've read it multiple times. And there was a point, because then I bought his tape series about it and to learn. And there was a point when Napoleon Hill, couldn't even look at himself in the mirror. Like when he met Andrew Carnegie, he barely had enough train fare to get back to where, he lived. And he could barely look in the mirror because he didn't have enough confidence there, Richard. And say, I got this. And you're right, Jeffrey, our own worst critic. Because if you can't look in the mirror with your eyes wide open and say, I love you, there's a problem. All of you, all of it. And I don't mean all of you, meaning all of you. I do mean that. But I mean each of you looking at the whole of you. Can't look at the mirror and say, I love you. You're worth it. I believe in you. If you can't do that, the belief systems that come up, well, it's because I'm this, because I haven't succeeded, because I'm not good enough, because I'm not whatever. I'll give you another example, and I wish I had to. I didn't know I was going to do this until now, but what the hell? I've got a pen. All right, I want you all to look. Make pretend, and I know it's a little hard to see, but you can see the one's orange and one's white, right? All right, what I want you to do, make pretend they're identical. I don't care which you pick, the white one or the orange one, right? Now, does anybody here have sorry, does anybody on their desk, somewhere near them, have a pen that you can take apart?
Mm.
All right. And now, let me tell you, there's a reason I'm going to tell you this. Make it be a pen that you'll never want to use again, ever. You'll see why. If you have a very special pen, don't use it. All right. So here, you got a pen. Now, let me see if this one's easier. Yeah. So if you can unscrew it, right? And then take out the little, and then if there's my spring came out. All right, most of you should have something like 4 pieces. The back, the spring, which keeps trying to roll off, the pen itself, right? And then the top, right? All right, now I want you to go ahead and fix it. So go ahead, fix it, put it back together, fix it. And then hold up the pen. All right, is it fixed? Almost. Brenda's still working on it.
I'm working on it.
My
Poets.
face is in the way. All right, and William, are you working on it? Chuck, are you working on it? Or not? It's okay if you don't, but just letting you know I see you. All right, you got it? Is it Brooks, did you put it back together?
Yeah, I'm mentally doing it. This is my favorite pen.
Oh,
So
I'm
can I
mentally
have
doing it. Oh, it's the only one. All right, so now, Brenda, I'll use you specifically because you're holding it up. Here, fix that pen.
I think it's fixed.
You think it's fixed, is it?
Does it work?
It's writing.
Okay, so fix that.
What do I need to fix about it?
That could be Michael. You have a gift, Vigil, by the way. That is a gift. What she just asked. That is profound. Let me ask you a question now. What do you need to fix about you?
Here's my list.
Here's your list. All right, great. And that list is BS. See, that list is keeping you where you are. Because the truth is, you're already fixed. There's nothing wrong with you. Brenda, break the pen. Break it just like this. Oh, shit. Well, that's never happened. I just got ink, and you probably can't see it, all over my desk and my fingers. I've never seen that. So here's the thing. Break the pen. Seriously, break the pen. I'm going to clean my, put it on a tissue. That's funny. Is it broken?
Very broken.
See, folks, and this is for you. Oh, I made a bigger mess by cleaning up the mess. Now I have a big streak. This is good. I'll use this for other shit. There's a whole streak all over my desk. Here's the thing. That list is like this broken pen. Because you think you're broken, because you think you need to be fixed, then you start acting like you need to be fixed. Instead of realizing right now that you are perfect, you are whole, you are complete, and you are lacking nothing. You are already fixed. Throw the damn list away and get on the phone. Throw the damn list away and get to the gym. Throw the damn list away and change your diet. Throw the damn list away, Brooks, and hire the trainer. Throw the damn list away and dial those, whatever it is you got to do that you haven't been doing. And you will see instantly, you will know instantly that you are already perfect, whole, complete, and lacking nothing. You're not broken. You're already fixed. You are priceless, which is so valuable. There is no price you can put on it. And when you act like that, because you own it, you see, these aren't just words. If you own your pricelessness, literally own it. When you own it now, N-O-W, own is O-W-N, you will have one, W-O-N. Own, O-W-N, now, N-O-W, one, W-O-N. It's the same word, isn't it? Just spelled differently. When you own your greatness, when you own your magnificence, when you own your pricelessness, there will be nothing that will stay the same for you. Do you get that, Brenda?
Yep.
What do you get about that? Because we're coming near the end of time here.
It's very truthful, very just again like your belief system and yeah, not what's the word I'm looking for? Not letting yourself get in the way about things.
Good. And every time you do something that's not what a priceless person would do, there you can stop it in that moment. Anybody else get anything out of that? Yeah, Jeffrey.
I have a comment.
Good.
All right, I'm a bit older than you, and
Just a little.
I've kind of broken this all down to a very, very simple equation. There are two kinds of people in this world. One that life controls and one that controls their life. And that's the simplest of all. If you put that all together, will you allow life to control you, or are you going to take control of your life? It's that simple.
Exactly. 100%. I love it, Jeffrey. And what we're doing is seeing all the unconscious beliefs, blocks, and barriers that keep you repeating that process and the cycle that lets life control you. It's great. You're 100% right. Now we're going to find out why we are letting life control us instead of us controlling it. Because you all, there's nothing. And I'll leave with this. to you, Mr. Valdez, to you, Mr. Smith, to you, Mr. Johnson, to you, Mr. Veal, to you, Miss King, to you, Mr. Mena, to you, Mr. Riley, and to you, Mr. Green. I believe in all of you, and I know what's possible. I see it. I feel it. You wouldn't be here unless you believed in yourself enough. Now we're going to really take this. So use me as a resource. You can feel free to reach out and ask some questions or whatever. And I'm here to help. And I'm honored because next week I won't be here, and I apologize for that. We'll all figure out a different day. Next Monday, I won't be here. We can figure out a different day. Look at everybody's schedules. You won't be shortchanged just because I won't be here. This will give you, by the way, Brooks, this will give you 2 weeks. But here's your homework. Well, it could give you 2 weeks because we could do it sooner. Here's your homework, Brooks. Do it today.
Yeah.
Don't wait 10 days. For what? That's 10 days that have passed in your life. Go today. Because by the end of this, you could have already lost a bunch of weight, already be in shape. That's what I'm talking about. You can do this. I believe in all of you. So I want to thank you for this time, Mr. Vigil, for letting me share this with you guys today. I know we only went through a couple of questions because that's what we were supposed to do. I'm not we got this, that. I did exactly what we needed to do today because it was there. I didn't know I was going to break a pen. I didn't know it was going to fly all over my desk. You probably, I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this next to the white thing? The black? Yeah, that's the pen. You don't make your life a mess. I believe in you guys. Let's rock. And whoever wants the book, send me, and thank you, Brenda. Send me whatever. You all have my information. Just send, I'll put it in the mail and bonus you with a poem. So thank you, Michael Vigil.
Thank you, Darshan.
Thank you all.
Thank you all for
Thank
being
you.
active participants and willing to participate. I really do appreciate it. I'll get this recording up in just a bit. See you guys soon. Peace.
All right. See you.
Sponsored
Thank
by
you.
Thank you. There's the
Hey,
pen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Gloria.
Yeah,